Okay, who you patterning your game after? A little bit.
I feel like Westbrook for real, cause I can get downhill and I can just do it my thing.
My man.
Thank goodness now, over the course of these years, times have changed. We've gotten more and more black head coaches in the OCC. I want to say it's about 5 of them now, and so it's great to see because there is an adjustment, but it's really the same game, and it's just really using basketball as a bridge, to keep, to have commonalities between everybody. So,
welcome to the weekly recap, where we give you the scores and more from the previous week of Central Ohio boys basketball action. Now, we will focus on the 3 major conferences in Central Ohio, which are the Columbus City League, the Columbus Catholic League, and the Ohio Capital Conference, better known as the OCC. Now, stay up to date with us by pressing the alert, as well as the like and most definitely the subscribe to stay notified. Now, before we get started, let us introduce ourselves. I am Coach T.
And I'm your man, Ted Draper, also known as Drape. I'm going to start things off, get us rolling. We're going to talk about the City League non-conference games. First ones that we have started on Monday, December the 9th. We had Marion Franklin traveling over to East, and East winning 89-37. Next, we have Genoa Christian against International. Genoa Christian, the home team, gets the win, 73-48. Rounding out Monday's games, we have Grove City, the home team, playing against West. Grove City was victorious, 69-64.
All right, now Tuesday, December the 10th, started league action in the City League. So let's start with the North Division. We had Beechcroft traveling to Centennial, and Centennial won 65-59. East hosted Linden, and East came out victorious, 56-37. Mifflin traveled to Whetstone, and Mifflin came out victorious, 69-51. And finally, we had International at Northland, and Northland winning 68-20. Now, on the south side, Marion Franklin went to Afrocentric, and Afrocentric won quite handily, 87-32. We had Briggs traveling to Walnut Ridge, and Walnut Ridge was a rude host and winning 82-26. Eastmore Academy went to South in a close one. Eastmore Academy lost 47-41. And finally, West traveled to Independence, and West went home to the West Side with a victory of 51-41.
Thanks, Coach. Let's get back out to the City League non-conference games that happened on Wednesday, December 11th. We had Kip going over to Briggs. Briggs holding down the home court, wins that game 53-46. Now, let's take a look and go over and talk about the City League games that happened on Friday. That's Friday, December the 13th. Let's kick it off. We got Whetstone going into Beechcroft. Beechcroft takes the victory 70-68. Centennial hosts East. Centennial takes care of business 72-64. Mifflin against Northland. Mifflin, the home team, gets the victory. Northland comes in and gets the big victory 62-46. We had International going over to Linden. Linden 75, International 22. And now let's take a look at the City League South side. Kicking that off, we got West with the victory 66 to Briggs' 46. Afrocentric wins 67-26 against Independence. We've got a rivalry game going on. Eastmore Academy in their building. Walnut Ridge comes in and gets the big win 80-46. And then we've got Marion Franklin hosting South. South comes in and gets the win 68-55.
All right, thanks, Drape. Now with the Saturday's non-league action for the City League teams, we start off at Shawnee State. We had Huntington falling to Walnut Ridge 59-47, and Walnut Ridge was led by Deion Johnson with 17 points. We had West traveling to Central Crossing, West coming away with a big win 50-44. Now we had Mifflin hosting Independence, and Mifflin winning 57-43. Now, at South High School on Saturday, we had the battle between the Dayton Public Schools and the Columbus Public Schools. Starting off, we had Dayton Ponents facing Beechcroft, with Beechcroft coming out on the upper hand, 71-57. We had Belmont slimly beating Linden, Dayton Belmont over Linden, 43-38. Next, we had Dayton Stivers falling to Afrocentric 64-43. And to end the night, we had Dayton Dunbar versus South, and South coming out with a slim victory of 53-52. Now, after the week 2, here are our City League North Division standings, where you see we have Centennial and Northland up top at 2-0 and also undefeated in the non-conference.
Coming over to the other side, let's talk about the standings on the south side. So it looks a little different on the south side. We have 4 teams that are tied above the top. All got off to great starts with 2-0 standings. That'll be Afrocentric, Walnut Ridge, South, and West High School. On the bottom side, Briggs, Eastmore, Independence, and Marion Franklin have all gotten off to an 0-2 start. Plenty of time, though. Plenty of time left in the season.
Oh, plenty of time. We're just getting started. All right, now let's shift to the Columbus Catholic League, Drake. Let's start off with the non-conference games because the Columbus Catholic League has not started league play yet.
Okay.
So on Tuesday, we had a couple of games. We had St. Charles at Granville, and Granville came away with a victory 48-43. Then we had DeSales hosting Thomas Worthington, and DeSales came out with a big victory of 63-48.
All right, let's talk about our games on Saturday that were in the Columbus Catholic League. We had DeSales in Tri-Valley, DeSales getting that victory, 77-56. We have Whitehall hosting Hartley. Hartley all over Whitehall, 72-29. And then our most competitive game in that Saturday slate was Olentangy Berlin against St. Charles. Olentangy pulling that out, 36-34. Close one.
Close one, yeah. Now, here we go, the standings. They haven't had started league play, so we see that Hartley and DeSales are both undefeated.
All right, let's keep things moving. Moving over to the OCC, we're going to look at the non-conference games in the OCC on Monday, December the 9th. We had one game to report, and that was Northridge going over to Lancaster. Lancaster easily winning 66-39.
All right, on Tuesday, out of the OCC non-conference, we had Pickerington North traveling to Westerville South. Pickerington North coming out with a victory 64-47. Hilliard Bradley was at Westerville Central. Hilliard Bradley won 56-49. Olentangy Berlin lost at Big Walnut 63-43. We had Chillicothe at Marysville, with Marysville winning 52-44. Hilliard Davison and Dublin Jerome. Hilliard Davison 53, Dublin Jerome 42. Canal Winchester at Worthington Kilbourne, and Worthington Kilbourne winning 51-48. Hilliard Darby faced Taze Valley. Hilliard Darby came away with the win 58-48. And rounding out the games from Tuesday, we had Thomas Worthington at DeSales, with Thomas Worthington falling to DeSales 63-48.
Thanks, Coach. Let's take a look and slide on over into the OCC Central, and let's look at Wednesday's game. We had a game over there on Wednesday, December 11th. That was Olentangy Liberty against Upper Arlington. Olentangy Liberty, 59, Upper Arlington, 47. Now let's move into Friday's games in the OCC. We'll start off with Olentangy Orange against Dublin Kaufman. Olentangy Orange, 68, Dublin Kaufman, 66. We'll go over to Hilliard Bradley. Hilliard Bradley, 64. Hilliard Davison, 55. Still quite a few other games that we want to get in and report for Friday in the OCC. We'll take a look at the OCC Ohio Capital Conference. So the Buckeye Division, Groveport, 68. Lancaster, 55. Newark, 63. Logan, 29. Reynoldsburg and Taze Valley. Reynoldsburg gets the win, 89-47. Pickerington Central, Canal Winchester. Pickerington Central, 65. Canal Winchester, 51. Moving on to the OCC Capital, we have Westerville South, 60. Big Walnut, 53. Westerville North, 65. Delaware, 56. Worthington Kilbourne, 66. Dublin Ciota, 53. And the OCC Cardinal, we had 3 games out there. We'll start off with Hilliard Darby, winning 72 over Dublin Jerome, 44. Olentangy against Marysville. Olentangy gets the victory, 67-45. And rounding out, we'll have Thomas Worthington against Olentangy Berlin. Thomas Worthington getting a narrow win in overtime, 50-49.
All right, now in the OCC Ohio, we had Pickerington North defeating Central Crossing 52-33. Westerville Central over Grove City 63-52. And in overtime, we had Gahanna Lincoln over New Albany 56-54. Now on Saturday, in the non-conference of the OCC, we started off with Pickerington Central at Westerville North. Westerville North coming out with the victory 77-58. And Westerville North was led by Ty Perkins, who had 20 points and 6 assists, and Micah Young, who had 16 points and 5 rebounds. We had St. Charles losing a narrow one at Olentangy Berlin, 36-34. West defeated Central Crossing, 50-44. And in a tightly contested battle, we had Trotwood Madison from the Dayton area coming up to play Reynoldsburg, and Reynoldsburg coming away with the win 91-82. And Reynoldsburg was led by Xavier McKinney with 27 points, and Toby, I hope I'm not beating his name up too bad, Nukwolo, with 23 points. Also on Saturday, we had Gahanna losing at Groveport, 49-40. Big Walnut over New Albany, 53-43. We had Marysville falling at Delaware Hayes, 64-48. And in the rivalry game, we had Olentangy Orange beating Olentangy 71-32. Now, that's the games for the week and scores from the OCC for the week. And here are the standings from the OCC as each division.
Taking a look down at the OCC, Ohio standings, we take a look at the Pickerington North team, who's jumped off to a 3-0 record and 2-0 over in that conference. Let's take a look. Coach had a chance to speak with Pick North's coach, and that is Jason Bates, and also a chance to talk to their star guard, Arness Lawson, who is also a Duquesne commit.
Briefly describe yourself as a player and tell us what you do well on the court.
I feel like I'm a versatile guard. I can get downhill wherever I want. I can create open shots for my teammates, and I can knock down shots as well. And I'm a very good on-ball, good defender. So overall, I feel like I'm good.
Right. On ball and off the ball also.
Yes, sir.
You read them passing lanes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, who you pattern your game after? A little bit.
I feel like Westbrook for real, because I can get downhill and I can just do my thing.
My man. Okay, now congratulations on signing your letter of intent with Duquesne. Tell us what led you to choose Duquesne?
It felt like a brotherhood to me. It just felt like the brotherhood because when Coach Jules, he was at Kent State, he came over to Duquesne, he was recruiting me hard. And then since day one, they always been there. They came to my games, the live sessions, stuff like that, and they always showed love to me. I just felt like they was family, so I chose them.
My man, I can dig that. Got to go where you want it, man, and where the love is.
Yes, sir.
Now, how'd you get started in basketball, and what made you fall in love with it?
I started when I was like young, like second grade, and then third grade, that's when I met Coach Bates, my high school coach right now. So then when I met him, he always told me to stay on basketball, stay on top of my stuff, and I'm gonna be successful at it. What I've been doing, been working, so.
Right. So you gotta love it because you gotta love to work.
Yes, sir.
So you're a gym rat.
Yes, sir. I love the gym.
Oh, you love the gym?
I'm here every day.
Oh, that's how you got where you are.
Yes, sir.
My man. Okay. Now, what are your goals for the season, individual and team goals?
One goal, I want to get on that banner up there. Hopefully, that's the goal for sure. I want to make it to the state because it's senior year, but I want to also beat the high school record all time here at Pick North. So.
You got a chance?
Yeah, I got like 300 more points, but
okay.
I feel like I can do it if I try and play hard.
Absolutely, but you're going to play within the team and get them 300 points real quick, so you ain't got to worry about it.
Yes, sir.
All right, got one more question. You finna start the season.
Yes, sir.
What's on the playlist in the locker room to get y'all ready? What y'all listening to, man?
We definitely, we some lover boys, so we be bumping Drake. Sometimes we'll bump Young Boy a little bit, but we cool to the Drake. We listen to the Drake.
Okay.
It's just calm and collective and get you going. So.
My man, I really appreciate you, man. And best of luck this season, man.
No problem.
Tell us how long you've been at Pick North, and give us a little bit of your coaching history, how you get into it.
Okay, this is my 11th year here at Pick North. I want to say my 17th, going into my 18th year as a head coach. Had my first 6 years at Walnut Ridge. Before that, I was an assistant at Afrocentric, middle school coach at Afrocentric, and I was at Afrocentric for 5 years. Got the head job at Ridge in 2008. Stayed there for 6 years. Then I got the job here at Pick North in 2015. That was my first season.
You know, I remember your first season at Walnut Ridge because you broke the streak. We had lost for a minute. And y'all gave us that first L at Ridge.
Real battles back then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so when you were hired here at Pick North, you were the only African-American boys basketball head coach. How was it your first year coaching in the OCC, and did you feel any additional pressure being, the only one that you got to really perform so we can get more of us in here?
That's a great question. I think initially I would say I didn't feel any additional pressure because I kind of put a lot of pressure on myself. Like, just even making the move, if you think about it, when I was at Walnut Ridge, the group that I left was the group that my first year at Pick North, that group went to the state championship, maybe the Final Four, I believe, with Malik Harrison and Caleb Younger and Tariq Wright and all of those guys, Zende Johnson. And so immediately, I knew, I want to say Pick North before I got here was maybe 2-19 or something like that. The year before I got here, they had an interim coach. And so I had pressure on myself just because I was leaving something good. You know what I'm saying? I was leaving something that was really up and running. 6 years. We had been to the city a couple of times, maybe 3 times, I believe. And then we had lost in the district championship twice, I think. And so I kind of put a bunch of pressure on myself coming in. And so I didn't really feel too much from the outside. I didn't even know at first. It took me maybe probably some months before I realized, like, man, I was the only one at the time. I remember Jerry Francis, who was at Pick Central, but I think my year coming in was his year going out. And so I talked to Jerry a lot during that time. He gave me some good advice about just being in Pickerington, kind of being in the OCC, And then, as the year went on, I got more and more used to it. I thought that it helped me, the fact that I was leaving a program that was highly successful, even though it was, a smaller school and so on and so forth. But I was bringing what we did well there here. And so that helped for them to embrace me, I think, early on. The players, mainly the players, honestly. The players, they kind of knew. A funny thing, when I was at Walnut Ridge, I want to say my last year there, we beat Pick North in the tournament. And it was a home game, I believe. And so they had a decent team, but we beat them in the tournament. So they were kind of familiar with me as well. The players were, I should say. And so that helped as well. Like, the players knowing that I knew what I was doing. I knew that I came from some success and I was going to take us to that place. That kind of made it a lot easier for me. But thank goodness now, over the course of these years, times have changed. We've gotten more and more black head coaches in the OCC. I want to say it's about 5 of them now. And so it's great to see because there is an adjustment, but it's really the same game. And it's just really using basketball as a bridge, to keep, to have commonalities between everybody. So.
Yeah, you started the string, man. You showed them that we can coach.
Oh, right.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, it was good ball in the city. I mean, it was good ball in the city. I mean, those years, my 6 years in the city, I had battles. I mean, absolute battles. The players, the teams, the coaches, the programs in the city, the gyms, like having to go into some of these gyms and win. It's hard to go in Eastmore. It's hard to go in back then, the old Afrocentric, Marion Franklin, South, all of them. Like, it was just, and so it really did prepare me, to be honest, to be able to have success in OCC.
Oh, there it is. All right, so tell me something about your squad this year, man. Tell me give me some top players, who you got coming back this year.
Very excited about this team. As we talked a little bit before, we got a lot returning. Really lost one senior that played valuable minutes and started, Jaden Vital. But what we returned, Arness Lawson is a senior. I think he's probably one of, if not the best player in the state, to be honest. Just an electric player, and he's more mature. He started as a freshman, kind of started off just helping me win games. Whether that was defense, steals, assists, whatever it was. And then he kind of blossomed the next year to kind of controlling the team. Then last year, kind of the same thing. And my thing for him has always been just now it's about winning. Like, it's all about winning now. And so we returned Arness Lawson. I want to say he averaged like 19 points last year as a junior. Favor McFadden is another senior that we returned. Highly underrated player. I think he had a great summer. Really had a really good junior year. Started a lot of games, or started every game, I should say. Favor's kind of a Swiss Army knife. Can guard, like, probably one of my best defenders I've ever had. Can score it as well. So Favor's returning.
That's a big 6'4".
Yep, 6'4". Yep, Favor 6'4". He wears number 5 for us.
Right.
Then J.R. Bates, that's my son. He's back. He's a junior now. His maturation I believe, has taken the step that it needs to take to help this team win more games. I think he kind of shot onto the scene, so to speak. He had a big coming out party, you would say, as a freshman. And then that was kind of his role, was kind of just get in there and shoot, kind of shift, kind of be a spark or whatever. Sophomore year last year, he kind of had some ups and downs. He became a real varsity player, which meant he has to defend the whole time. He has to bring the ball up more. You have to, know the scouting plan. You got to, all of these things. And so that kind of maybe slowed him down a little bit from what he expected it to be last year. Still had a good year. He was second team All OCC. I'm sorry, he was special mention All OCC. Favor was second team All OCC. And so for JR now, he put on some weight, got stronger. And I think from what we saw in the summer and now, he's ready to take a jump, and that's big for us.
Man, that's the big thing. That's my guy from way back.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the big thing I've noticed in a few times I've seen him, man, is he's finishing at the rim real good, man.
Yeah.
And his demeanor out there,
Yeah.
he's just steady now.
Yeah.
It ain't no real high, it ain't no real low. It's just, I know I'm supposed to be out here. I know I'm
100%.
that guy. Let's play.
100%. And so I think in his mind, he always was supposed to be out there.
Right.
But for that team, when he was a freshman, I kind of pushed it a little bit because we didn't have a lot of shooting. And so it kind of still could be questioned. Last year, I think he kind of solidified himself like, yeah, I belong. And now it's kind of like, okay, all those seniors are gone. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, now I'm a junior, so it's only a year. But okay, so now I can kind of be myself. And so we're starting to see that a lot. Who else we got? We got Kendrick Duro is a senior, I want to mention. Kendrick is definitely an unsung hero for us. He played sparingly as a junior. He kind of was in the role that Jaden Vita was in. And so I'm expecting big things from him. He's probably like a 6'1" guard, kind of explosive, can shoot it, got a lot of skills, just hasn't, I ain't say a late bloomer, but, he had to take his steps. I'll just say that he's had to take his steps. And so I think now's the time for him to kind of show what he can do. Eli Rhyme, I'll be remiss if I didn't say Eli Rhyme, probably the best role player I think I might have ever had. And I had some great ones, but he does all the little things, all the things that kind of allow Ness to, be Ness and allow JR to be JR and Favor to be Favor. And so Eli Rhyme is a returner. Michael Murphy is our big, so to speak. I haven't had a big since I had some here, but back when I was banging against you, we had some bigs, and I had another spurt of bigs out here at Pickerington North when I first got here. Since then, our bigs have been like 6'4s and 6'3s, and we've developed them and learned how to use them. And so our new one this year is, not new one, this year's is Michael Murphy. He's returning.
What year is he?
He's a senior too.
Okay.
And so I want to say we have 7 seniors.
Okay.
About 7 seniors, but Michael Murphy's one, just a dirty work type of player, football guy, but brings a lot to us. I had him, I had Arness, I had JR, of course, since they were little, AAU.
Right.
And so Michael's one of them that he knows the system, knows what I want. Right. And so those type of things give me a lot of confidence in this team, just knowing that I've had them for so long.
Right.
I thought it was last year, to be honest. Right. I thought last year we'd be a little bit further ahead. Didn't happen, but the good thing is it was these guys that went through that.
Right.
And so now here we are this year. Now we can talk about taking the next step.
Yeah. Now it's their last year. So
last year too. Yeah.
So it is what
it is. For sure. Yeah. What's your legacy gonna be?
Right. Exactly.
And I talked to Arness about that a lot too, because he has a chance. He was a 1,000-point scorer last year, I believe it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Towards the end of last year, and so he has a chance to be our. Right now it's Jerome Hunter, but he has a chance to be our leading scorer in history. Jerome only played 3 years, but Ness will have his 4th year, and so, but we got to get some wins. It's some big wins that's missing. You know, we got to get some big wins. So I know hopefully, God willing, you'll get that. But at the same time, we got to get these wins along the way.
What I've seen is, like you talked about, his maturation, man. He's the game is looking easy to him, and he knows where to be. I mean, he's thinking way ahead of these high school kids are right now, man. And I mean, he is. You know, I'm hearing. I mean, from what I saw early, 9th grade to now. Oh yeah. He puts in the work. He's a rat. He puts in the work, man. So I'm expecting. I mean, I saw y'all were ranked top 10 in one thing in Division I.
Oh, right now?
This year, yeah. I know that don't mean anything, but
right.
I mean, you got respect.
Yeah,
you know what
I mean?
People know you out there.
Yeah, for sure. You know, for sure.
So you're excited a little bit about
it. I am, man.
I
am. I think, you know, probably since it was about Ness's freshman year, I had 3 senior guards, really good. Dior Connors, Jerry Saunders, and Corey Hudson, all of them playing college right now. Okay. Since then, this is probably the most excited I've been since then, just by what you bring back, the basketball IQ, the system that's in place. Like, we're not changing a lot of stuff. And then just like our defensive principles and stuff, like we're not starting from like scratch, so to speak. And so that's probably what makes me the most excited. You know what I mean? We're not starting from scratch. We can start from where we left off, really.
Right. Well, Coach, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Appreciate you. This is great.
Yeah, good luck to you, man.
Okay,
for
thanks.
Sure. Well, that's the show for this week. We really appreciate you viewing. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It is greatly appreciated. And check back for us next week. Drake, take us out.
A lot of great basketball. We love bringing it to you, and we look forward to bringing you this content next week. Peace.
One love.